This is the Yankified podcast, and as you'll notice, I've got a very special guest, and it happens to be our prodigal son who's returned. The Rob himself, Robinho, the Ethanizer in chief. You know it. It's Robinho. He had to hop on, and we're looking forward to doing this show. It's going to be a little bit of a different show. We are going to be doing a tier list. That's right. We are going to bring back the almighty tier list that's never been done before in the history of the Pinstripe Chronicles or Yankified. So we're going to try this out. Now, it could be a disaster or it could be really good fun. We'll see how it works out. But it couldn't be anyone better than Robinho to do it with me. So I think it should be a lot of fun. And everybody give your opinions in the chat. We'll interact and then see how we do here. It's going to be like we'll be grading how these guys have done between April and June, and we'll try and keep it as fair as possible. And that's us. So what's up, Deron? What's up? But who am I going to say what's up to? I'll tell you who I'm going to say what's up to. Robinho! What's up, Robinho?
What's up, everyone? It's good to see you, Donald. It's good to see you, Chris. Good to see you, Doran. Good to see Jonathan, of course. I mean, who else would be the early bird? John the Beagle Dad coming in second place. FJ and Peach Email. A lot of familiar faces. It's good to see everyone. It's good to be on here, ready for this tier list. Always good to be on here with the homie Donald. And you said the prodigal son. I got Odell's jersey on. I know this is a baseball show, but my boy Odell is back with the Giants where he belongs. I've been so happy these last couple of days that my guy is back. So I had to rock the Odell jersey.
Do you know who that is? That's your boy Blue.
That's my boy Blue, Odell Beckham.
That's your boy Blue, bro. Your boy Blue is back with the big blue. Your boy Blue is back with Big Blue. No, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to have Odell back. I hope he can stay healthy. But I can't imagine anyone better for Jackson Dart than Odell Beckham himself. So I'm looking forward to the season. It's going to be a lot of fun. There he is. You're my boy Blue. that's you and Odell. So yeah, a good weekend for our sports teams. I got the Knicks tonight in the NBA Finals. So let's go Knicks. Rob, you're a Jersey Net fan. I'm saying New Jersey Nets, but anyway, New Jersey Nets fan. Who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for the city. It's going to be great for the city. I never hated the Knicks. I actually use them all the time in NBA Jam because there was no Michael Jordan. So the Knicks always had the best team, in my opinion, in those games. They had Starks and Ewing. Like, how can you go wrong with that? But as a Brooklyn Nets fan, I don't have like a fandom to the Knicks, but I also don't have a hatred. But I'm happy for the city. They're going nuts out there and they're having a good time. They're not being foolish. They're just enjoying themselves. The entire city's painted blue and orange. The subways are getting painted. All the lights are blue and orange. So they're having a great time. And I do have the Knicks in 6. That's my prediction.
Ooh.
I don't know if the Spurs are going to have enough energy after that 7-game dealing with the Thunder and the refs to deal with the red-hot Knicks. That team is right now, they're rolling. Jalen Brunson's on a different level of unstoppable that I don't think I've seen since, like, the days of Kobe. Like, I don't know if I've seen this before from another player, in at least in New York playoff sports. So what he's doing is wild. And I'm happy for Donald. I'm happy for Luka. I'm happy for a lot of my Knicks fans' friends. And I'm happy for the city.
Yeah, man, we've suffered, but that's very gracious, man. Salute to you. Right, let's get this tier list going, and here we're gonna bring this to the stage. There it is. All right, so we will look at this tier list. So it starts with, if you're the best, it's elite. Earned your pinstripes, so that's I can tell you now that's gonna be Ben Rice, right? And then the next tier is pretty good in honor of Larry David. That will be, you know what that is. Very good, very good. Not quite elite, but very, very good. And then you've got useful to keep around or one for the future. So that'll be, that'd be like your C tier. So that'd be, solid, done their job. Certainly not good, certainly not elite, but one to keep around. Maybe there could be a prospect, someone that you certainly don't want to lose. And then we got the D tier, and that's trade release. You just want to, let's just, you don't have anything bad against them, but just let's move on, right? Trade release, let's get rid, right? Then we have the E tier, and have you tried another vocation, gardening maybe, or pickleball? So that's E. It'll be interesting.
Wish that on my worst enemy.
Exactly. But there's still a tier below that even. And that is send to the fiery Aaron Hicks Shadow Realm. I can already tell you that's what I would send Anthony Volpe and Aaron Austin Wells. So we will see who else who people in the chat have to send to the fiery Aaron Hicks Shadow Realm. That's even worse than pickleball. But if you ask Rob, it's debatable.
No, pickleball's worse.
Oh, pickleball's worse than the fiery Aaron Hicks Shadow Realm?
Like, if I had to be stuck in an eternal hell, I'd rather be stuck watching Aaron Hicks highlights than watching anyone play pickleball.
That's bad. I have watched pickleball. In the Hudson Yards, they have a pickleball court. And I tried to kind of watch it and damn, it's a stupid looking sport. Really, really stupid. I don't know why people do it. It's like table tennis with like an oversized freaking racket. It looks so stupid. Jonathan Beagle Dad says, Rob, why do you hate pickleball?
Starts with an S, ends with an L.
That's right. I wonder if he's going to make an appearance.
Hopefully not, but we'll see.
Right. Who else have we got here? Duran. We got Duran here. We got Chris. Pickleball is for old folk. Exactly. We don't play that here. Don't play that here. Let's go. Oh man, let's go. What up, Donald? Yeah. Checking out Porto. What's going on, brother? How are you doing? Thanks so much for being here. Let's try and get the layout correct so everybody can see it. Yeah, that should be it. Right. That should be it. That's better. Right. Let's get this thing going. There we go. Good man, Celso. Good to see you, bro. All right. Let's start with the first name on the list, and that is Paul Goldschmidt. So, Rob, first of all, what grade would you give Paul Goldschmidt for the season he's had so far before we send him to a tier? What are you grading him on this season so far?
I mean, he's been an A in every single stretch of the imagination. Like, I never would have expected this 2 months in, his numbers to be where they are. I didn't want him back. I'll be honest. I wasn't thrilled when the rumors were out there that they were trying to bring him back. And I was like, anyone but him. It's like, they don't really need a first baseman. Give the job to Rice. And thank God they didn't listen to me, because he's been phenomenal. He's been arguably our best player outside of Ben Rice and Judge. Like, if you look at who are the Yankees' top maybe 3-4 guys, it'd be Rice, Goldschmidt, Belly, Judge, in that order maybe. But Goldie's arguably been our second most valuable player, considering what he's been able to do in kind of a platoon role. And I said this in the chat the other day, that his role has been perfect. His platoon role, and every time he's in the lineup, he drove in all of our runs yesterday. So, like, he's done his job and he's passed it with flying colors. So, an A+, really, when you consider his age and how much he signed for. He's been outstanding.
No, he's been amazing, man. even in yesterday's loss, he contributed with a home run, right? He's
Yeah,
batting 276. Yeah, he had a home run, 3 hits. Jesus Christ. Batting 276, 7 home runs, 23 RBIs. I mean, just send him to the Hall of Fame right now. I mean, he's doing this at what, almost 40 years old. The guy's special. The guy's a special player. 38 years old, and he's still putting up these kind of stats. It's a young man's game, but Goldschmidt is just well ahead of the curve on that regard. So I agree. He's getting an A. So what tier do we send him in? Elite, earns your pinstripes, or pretty good? What do you think, Rob?
I think earned his pinstripes. I mean, elite is he hasn't played every. If he was doing this while playing every day, then there's no question he'd be elite. But and in the platoon role that he's been in, I would say earned your pinstripes. But I leave it up for debate. If you want to put him in elite, I wouldn't argue.
Well, it's the same tier. Elite earned your pinstripes is the same tier. So you want to put him up there? It's between that or pretty good. I think you're right. I think he's earned elite. He's been elite.
Yeah.
In his role, he's been elite. No doubt about it. Okay, second up, and this is going to be fun. Austin Wells.
Just the last one.
The the breakfast burrito himself, Austin Wells. What's the chat got to say? Where are you putting Austin Wells, chat? What are you... Wells goes where? Where's he going, John the Beagle Dad?
Look at Doran.
Doran. Fucking bomb. I love it. All right. Right. Austin Wells. What grade would you give Austin Wells, Rob, first of all?
I mean, it should be an F, but he is still calling a great game behind the plate. We do have the best rotation in baseball, and like our worst starter has like a 3.5 or something like that. Like it's pretty remarkable how good the rotation is, and you got to give him some credit for that because he is catching most of the time. But his bat has been so bad. I mean, so bad that it will knock that letter grade to. It's an F. Like, he's just been horrifically bad offensively, that he's just an automatic out. He doesn't do anything well. The fact that it's kind of a joke, but also serious, that Ascara could be better than him from the right side of the plate. He's not even a right-handed hitter. That's how bad it is that the dude's trying to become a switch hitter. If I'm being generous, D-, but if we're being honest, it's an F.
I think we have to call it an F. Not sure anybody in baseball's been worse than Wells at the plate. I think he gets an F for me. So then that leaves either the bottom two. If you tried another vocation, maybe he'd be better at pickleball, bro. Or do you send him to the fiery Aaron Hicks Shadow Realm?
I would say I'd go with the second to last one.
Yeah.
Because he's still been good defensively. He's still doing that well. He's not been awful enough defensively to where you're just like, send him with Sunil. So I would try a new vocation.
All right. Yeah, maybe pickleball. Maybe he'll be a better pickleball player than he is a baseball player. So I agree with that. But I wonder if anybody else in the chat. Chris is Shadow Realm. Issy Shadow Realm. All right, guys. Anybody else in the chat? Because it's a democracy. So if there is enough,
He would still suck
if there's enough of a call for Shadow Realm, we will move him down to the Shadow Realm. At the moment, there are 2 votes for Shadow Realm. John the Beagle Dad Shadow Realm.
I think
Rob,
we have
it looks
our answer.
it looks like the answer is he's getting down to the Shadow Realm. That's it. Poor Austin Wells. Sorry, bro. You and your breakfast burrito is going down to the Shadow Realm, the fiery pits of Aaron Hicks hell. There you go, bro. Okay. That's that. I mean, he's batting 170. Like, there's no argument. It's an absolute bomb. Bomb. Okay, next one. Bednar. I like Bednar. I like me some Bednar. he good people. Okay, Rob, how would you grade Bednar though? Because he's a tough one to grade this year.
I do think he's been overused, um, but I also don't think he's been nearly as good as he can be. He was phenomenal last year. He was phenomenal in the World Baseball Classic, and he's just been really rough this year. Like everything, every outing seems like an adventure with him, and that's not what you
Mm-hmm.
want, to borrow a quote from a former manager, out of your closer. You want your closer to be as close to lockdown as can be. We're never going to see another Mo. I'm not saying he's got to be that. Not even saying he's got to be Andrew Miller, right? But he's got to be better than what he's been. And I mean, because he's been overused, I agree with Chris. I think a B is fair, but if we're being honest, looking at his numbers, like C plus maybe, he hasn't
Yeah,
been good, and that's been an issue. Our bullpen in general stinks, but he has not helped with his struggles.
I agree. It's a tough call. I can't give him a B in all good conscience. I mean, got a 450 ERA, bro, uh, and his WHIP is 1.58, which is kind of high. Um, that's actually very high. So, um, he's not been a lockdown closer. He's been far from it. I mean, he hasn't been a complete disaster. I still don't think he's been like as bad as like Williams was last year, or anything close to that, or Chapman the year before. I still view him higher than that, but he's been a massive step down from last year. So with that in mind, I do agree it's like a C plus, C minus even. Because certainly you don't want your closer having a 450 ERA, bro. Like that can't happen. So um, where do we put him? He's obviously not elite, and he's obviously not pretty good. How about useful to keep around?
Yeah, I think he'll get better as if he doesn't get used as much. I think Boone has to be careful where he uses him from now on. Like I said, I think it's just been overused because he's been the only guy that you can really go to.
Yeah, Duran says useful. John says he's average. We got your dad in the chat. Good morning. Hi, my son Rob. Hi, Donald, and everyone in the chat. What's up, man? Enjoyed the show. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, Issy says useful. I'm keeping him around. Awesome. Right. Okay. Now we get to Jazz, one of the most polarizing figures in Yankee fandom. Some people adore him. Some people can't stand him. Some people would wish he'd just shut up. But a lot of people love him. Rob, I think you're closer to the like than or the love than anything. I'm more on the other end. Where are you with Jazz?
I still like Jazz. I like his attitude sometimes. There are times where I wish he would not say as much, but also at the same time, do you want him to go on a talk show and go, "No, we're not going to win the World Series"? Like if he would have said, well, I don't know if we have enough," people would say, well, "You have no confidence." So I think people are looking too much into his Jimmy Fallon appearance. He was on there about his charity, and people are like Cleveland Indians announcers. Um, he's got, to me, he's got so much more talent than what he has shown this year, and we're starting to see him finally. He's getting a little bit better, but he just has not been good enough. We need a bat like him to be much, much better, especially if this Judge injury is worse than we think. Um, I know, so I just don't know what his long-term future is with the organization.
No, I don't think he has any future in the organization, my guy. But why was he on with Jimmy Fallon in the first place?
Maybe there was just no other players available. It was more so to talk about his charity than anything.
Okay. Eh. I tend to agree with Chris that he isn't good enough to be this eccentric. That I tend to agree with. The guy talks too much, and there's a way in which you can say it. Are you going to win the World Series? You don't have to say yes. You could have just says we're going to give it everything we have. and we'll leave it up uh, to how hard we work, and we'll see how we are at the end of the day. Something like that. Just play the political answer. It's smarter than just once again calling your shot, because all he ever does is it ends up being bulletin board material. He doesn't even deserve public access. There's a lot of people that are just sick of his shtick, and I have to be honest, I am. Like, I can't wait to get rid of him. I honestly can't. So, how would you grade Jazz at this stage this season? Because it was started off awful, but then he's kind of come around lately.
Like a C, because he's
Yeah.
kind of been mediocre at John, he's trying to compare Odell to Jazz. Like, you're just doing too much. Like, stop that. You know, they're not the same. Just you're trying too hard there to make a comparison, and it's teetering on the line. Say, but just enough with that. Jazz is a much different player. First of all, I would say a C for Jazz.
Rob, you're kind of breaking up a little bit, bro. Do you want to check your Wi-Fi settings or whatever? You're kind of been in and out a little bit.
Was I?
Yeah.
So
we
I
got
was saying
D minus. A D minus. I agree. I think a C minus, D, something like that for Jazz. Now, what tier do we put him in? Rob's gonna be probably more optimistic. I'm gonna be more pessimistic. I don't know whether I'd send him to the fiery Aaron Hicks shadow realm necessarily, but I'd be open to it. Rob, which category are you putting Jazz in?
First, can you understand me now? Like, am I coming through clearly?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe useful to keep around for now.
Right, he's useful. I'm trade. Or I don't think he's bad enough to have another vocation necessarily, but I'm done with him. Let's see what else. Issy says trade. FJ says trade. Yeah. So the motions carried, I'm afraid.
Motion
We
pass.
are gonna yeah, John, everyone is sick of Jazz. Trade release. Okay, but then we get a positive guy. And this guy, there's no debate, is an A+. It's Ben Rice. It's the man himself. He is just incredible. And he is going in elite, and he's going in ahead of Goldschmidt. I don't think there's any argument. No argument from you, Robinho?
No, A+. Absolutely.
A++. All the pluses in the world is Ben Rice. I mean, what more can you say? Yep, he's earned his pinstripes and then some. Completely agree. It doesn't get any better than Ben Rice. He's an all-star. He is our MVP. Yep, MVP candidate this far. Rice A+. FJ, completely agree. We have to bring up his stats because it's too good to ignore. 305 batting average in an era where batting average isn't even paid attention to. 17 home runs, 44 RBIs, 61 hits. It's our best player. Robinho?
Without question, he's been the best player. You can't even make an argument for anyone else. Like, and that remember they said he couldn't hit lefties, and now he's just crushing no matter what pitcher he goes against.
To be fair, Aaron Boone tried to platoon him at the start of the year to take him out against lefties. It was freaking absurd.
Real idiot.
Yeah, but luckily Ben Rice has just been so good that it's been impossible to take him out of the lineup. All right. And that leaves Aaron Judge, who is currently injured. And I wonder whether his injury is something to do with his terrible numbers. Well, terrible for his standard, I should say. Like, his numbers aren't bad in general, but for his standards, it's pretty poor. 248 batting average, 17 homers, 38 RBIs. too many strikeouts. At one stage, he had a period where he had 7 straight strikeouts. Um, in 7 at bats, 7 strikeouts and 7 at bats. This is unheard of for someone of his elite caliber. And the things that the stuff that I get on him with is like questionable leadership. It's like, why are you worrying about the stadium DJ? Why are you worrying about Timberlands? Why are you worried about things that just don't matter? So I've been highly critical of Aaron Judge so far this year, but we know that he is a generational player, and Rob loves him some Aaron Judge. So, Rob, where are you grading Aaron Judge so far this year? It's going to be very difficult to grade, I have to say.
I mean, he's still the best player we have. Like you take him off this team, you clearly see a difference. Like yesterday, the offense just wasn't close to what they can be. Even with the struggles, he's still like tied for the team lead in home runs. He's second on the team in ribbies. His OPS is still elite despite the struggles. Like he is the best player still on this team. I think he's elite. I'll leave it up to the chat to decide if they want to put him in pretty good or not. But I still think he's elite.
I think, yeah, it's a tough call because, if you're grading him, what would you grade him, by the way?
I think he's an A. I think the injury is really hurting him because he's been dealing with it for a little while. Before that slump, he was on pace for like a 65 home run season. So it's like you can't tell me that injury has nothing to do with it. I just don't know why they wait so long, especially for a player that is as important as he is.
It would be blasphemy not to put him in the elite category. I mean, I grade him a C. I've not been impressed with him this year, but he is elite, and he is going into earned your pinstripes. I mean, it's Aaron Judge. It's 99. He is elite, and I don't think there's any doubt about it. He needs to be up here. And he's second behind Ben Rice, in my opinion, this season. But he's definitely elite, earned your pinstripes. So still Aaron Judge, still the captain, and everybody's agreement. Judge is Judge, all rise. John the Beagle Dad says A+. Your dad says give him a B. Because of the injury, I would give Judge an I for incomplete. That's with that in mind. That's why I'm giving him a C+. Issy is giving him an A+, but a D- for leadership. I agree with that. I fear Judge's injury is serious. You don't go and seeing a specialist for a muscle pull. I agree with that. Judge is still elite even with poor numbers. That's crazy, isn't it? Those are poor numbers for his standards, but for everybody else's standards, pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying? This season, B-. Yeah. So I think we're all kind of in agreement. He's still elite, and he still earned his pinstripes. It's still Aaron Judge. And even though I've been critical of him, I still got that number 62. Still got that number 62. Home run bobblehead right here. There he is. So, all right. Let's move on. Let's get moving on to the next one. Oh, the next one. We have... That's my boy, Blue. That's my baby boy. It's Caballero.
It's Cabby.
My baby boy, I love you. All right, Caballero. I'm giving you an A. Rob, what are you giving him?
I give him a B+. He's been great defensively. I don't think he's been a world beater with the bat. He's certainly been better than what we've gotten from shortstop. That's for sure. But he's done his job, and the fact that he's been playing 3 other positions and doing them with ease. He's a good right fielder. He's a good left fielder. He's a good third baseman. He could play second. You could probably put him behind the plate, and he'll be better than Austin Wells. So he's done everything you could have asked for him. I mean, he's not an A. You know, that's not a knock on him. He's not blowing the doors off offensively, but everything else he's been great. I think you put him right in that second tier because he's been great.
Yeah, I'm giving him an A. But Essie is not as sold. He's a solid B, useful to keep around. Interesting. I've got him higher than that. Caballero's done more than the Yankees could have asked. I agree. Duran says he's elite and should be in the earned his pinstripes category. I don't know about that. I mean, although you could make the case if Goldschmidt's there, but I am going to put him, all things considered, I'm going to put him in the pretty good, which is pretty good. All right. Next up, that's Luis Gil, right?
Yeah, that's Louis Heel. I feel so
Ugh.
bad for him.
I mean, F minus fucking GXYZ. Like, we don't get any worse. Holy crap.
He's been bad. I mean, I know he's been hurt again, but he was given a shot and he never really took off with it. I think you put him, I mean, grade-wise, he's been an F because he just hasn't been good, but as for his tier, you probably put him in that trade candidate. He might still have some value with all that control he has and the fact that he can still hit upper 90s. More than likely a trade candidate at this stage.
Who's scarier, Leatherface or Camilo Doval coming up in the 8th inning?
Camilo Doval.
Yeah.
You can get away from Leatherface if you run fast enough, but you can't run away from Doval in the 8th inning.
You can't outrun Camilo Doval. He's going to find you, baby. He's going to find you, and he's going to put up a 7 ERA. What is his numbers? Let's look at his numbers because they are to be seen to be believed at this stage. 6 ERA. Holy macaroni. And even in the last game against the Guardians yesterday, 4 hits, 3 earned runs in 1 inning against the Guardians. Oh, he's so bad, bro. Where do we put Doval?
No, we're talking about Heel right now. Doval.
I know, but I just wanted to talk about Camilo Doval.
Oh, when we get to Doval, I mean, you can put him in right now if you find him in that picture list right there. You put him on the bottom. You send him to the deepest, darkest depths of the Shadow Realm. He's been horrific.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, let's just go ahead and just do that right now, just so we can get that out of the way. That's him, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Get him to there's Leatherface. Send him to fiery Aaron Hicks, Shadow Realm. Okay, that's that out the way. Now back to Luis Gil. I had to get Doval off my chest. I freaking can't stand that guy. Now Luis Gil. I love me some Luis Gil, and I'm very sad that it's not worked out for him this year. What do we grade Luis Gil?
I still think it's an incomplete. What do you have, like 4 starts?
Yeah. You had 1 great start against the Red Sox, and everything else sucked.
Maybe you just call him up to play Boston and send him back down because he seems to dominate the Red Sox.
Yeah, he has a 6
I think he's trade bait.
Just 9 strikeouts. Damn, it's awful. I agree. I think he's trade bait. I would love to be kind and put him in the useful, but I think he's trade bait. It's just not worked out for him this year. It really sucks. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's tough, bro. I would give him a failing grade. It's just not worked out, and he's like one of my favorite pitchers. I love the guy. I think he's incredible. I think he's got great stuff. He's got a killer slider, and I would love to have him in the useful to keep around category. But I think considering the depth we have in pitching, I think he's a trade candidate. Um, F for heel, yeah. Duval, Shadow Realm, yeah, I agree. Okay, we're gonna get to the next guy, bro. Who that?
That is Ryan Weathers.
There he is. Ryan Weathers had a great season. So, where do we put Ryan Weathers, bro?
I mean, he's been better than Bednar, so I think we got to put him in that pretty. He's exceeded my expectations.
Mine too.
I think you put him right there next to Cabby. That's a good spot for him. And as for his
Yep.
grade, I mean, an A. I did not see this kind of start for him coming. I think he's statistically our worst starter, and he's pretty freaking good. So,
Yeah,
like,
he's pretty damn good, bro. I've been so impressed with him. I think pretty good is definitely the perfect place for him. Now, Jason Dominguez. It's tough to give him a grade because it's not really working out for him with injuries, but I think this is the perfect spot for him. Useful to keep around, one for the future. What do you think?
oh yeah, he's got to be here. If he once he's healthy, they need to find a spot for him and play him. He's too good. We've seen like when he got called up this year, he started hitting after like maybe 1 or 2 games. Like it's all he does is hit when he's up here. If he just gets better from the right side of the plate and is slightly better, he just needs to be an average defender. And you got yourself a hell of a ball player. I don't know why the Yankees are doing this like freaking up and down shit with him. They need to find a spot for him every day. I know he's hurt now, but the guy was playing out of his mind before he went down. I love the kid, so I'm hoping that they find a spot for him in the long term.
No, I agree. I'm putting him ahead of Bednar. Useful to keep around, one for the future. If he was, I'd have him in the pretty good category if he played a little bit more, but I think that's the perfect spot for him. Then we've got Spencer Jones. I'm also putting him in the useful to keep around, one for the future. Do you agree?
I think he's more likely to get traded.
Oh no!
It was very, very small sample size, but what you saw in that small sample size is what a lot of people feared about him is that strikeout rate in the minors was going to translate very poorly in the majors. He struck out like almost 50% of the time in his 27 at-bats. He got dominated. Very small sample size. So, again, you can't be like, oh, he's an absolute bust. But incomplete, yeah, I agree with Izzy. I think incomplete, but I feel like they have to find a role for him because it's getting late early for him. He's not young anymore, but he's not old either. He's got talent. What we saw, the fact that he has to adjust his stance almost every other month. He's fixing that swing.
I think that stance is a problem.
I don't like it. It works against minor league pitching, but his first task was Mizorowski, and he just got and that's a tough task. Don't get me wrong, but he looked overmatched almost every at bat, and we didn't get to see that pop. We know he has the power, we just didn't get to see it.
It's not a smooth swing. It's like herky jerky, and it feels like there's like 2 swings in there, like 2 batting stances in there. That's what kind of like threw me off. I was like there's just before the pitcher releases, he's more open, and then he kind of closes himself in. Do you know what I'm saying? It was really weird. Have you seen a stance quite like that?
No, and that's why it bothered me when he was hitting home runs in the spring and MLB. This is why I don't like when the media does this shit. They're like, oh, Ohtani's swing from Spencer Jones. It's like, stop. Now you're going to start having people think he's going to be Shohei Ohtani. Because first he was the lefty Aaron Judge, and now he's the white Shohei Ohtani. So it's like the comparisons were too much, and there's a huge difference between spring training, AAA, and the majors. And Spencer Jones is, in just the last few months, is absolute proof of that. I still think he can be a good player. I just think the comparisons to Judge were never accurate. The comparisons to Ohtani were unbelievably stupid. And that's why last year when I said maybe his ceiling is Texas Joey Gallo, it was met with a lot of criticism, but like Yeah, look at the way he's swinging the bat. I know it's a limited sample size, but that strikeout rate has not gotten better in the minors. And there's a reason why scouts are very skeptical to say he's going to be a very good major league player.
Yeah, I know. So you're having him in the trade release category?
I, I mean, if there was like a middle tier between the keep around and the trade one, then yeah, because I think you can put him in both, honestly, because I could see a role
Yeah,
for him.
he's very much in the periphery. Like I'm more useful to keep around because I'm a big Spencer Jones guy. Plus, I think he made a couple of really nice plays in the outfield. But I mean, you made a very compelling case. I'm just not sure whether the Yankees like him, and I think that's the overriding sentiment. I don't think the Yankees like him that much. So
They've
I
liked
think
him enough to not trade him, though. You know, like they've had chances to trade him the last few years. They could have got Dylan Cease for him. They could have got Corbin Burns potentially for
yeah.
him. Last year they
But
could
that's what
have.
they do with everybody, bro, whether they
Yeah,
like them or not. I mean, they didn't even put Peraza in any trade talks, and they didn't like Peraza, even though Peraza was much better than Volpe. You
it's
know?
true.
So they just do that whether they like them or not. They just protect them. But Spencer Jones, I mean, listen, if they could fix that batting stance, he's my boy of the future. I think he's fantastic. But I don't know if he's going to fix that. And he looked so severely overmatched, and I can't hide that. I mean, I can't lie to you, guy. I can't lie to my people. So at the moment, with a bullet, it's trade. I'm afraid. Not that I want to, but that's probably the most likely. You agree?
Yeah, I think for now you probably put him in that trade category.
Okay, next guy, Robinho.
Brent Hedrick.
Where are
You
we
know that
putting
mustache
Hedge?
anywhere.
That
Um,
mustache, baby.
I mean, he's been better than you could have ever really anticipated. I don't think anyone knew who this guy was. Um,
Useful to keep around?
yeah, I mean, he's a lefty. He gets outs. He usually won't allow inherited runners to score. So there's a role there. Just Boone uses him like he's an elite arm, which says more about Aaron Boone than it does Hedrick.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's been useful. I can't say too much bad about him. Now, Anthony Volpe, the most polarizing Yankee probably ever. Um, I mean, for me, it's the fiery hell of doom, which is the Iron Hicks Shadow Realm. Or we could maybe try him out with pickleball. Uh, or trade release. Rob, where are you?
I think try. Yeah, elite. He's earned his pinstripes. He's actually been a lot better than we could have ever thought so far.
He has been very good. I'll give him that. He has been much better.
But there's still way too much bad from the past few years to ever, at least as of right now, to be like, oh, he's back, because he never was really there. I'd say try a new position. Maybe he's better off at second base at this point.
Probably, but I'm so sick of his face. And to be honest, as soon as the Yankees brought him back, I checked out. Like I honestly am so disgusted. I'm disgusted that he's back. I can't stand him. And this is my show, so send him to the fiery hell of Aaron Hicks' Shadow Realm. I frickin' despise him. And the day that he is no longer a Yankee, I will be literally jumping. I will be jumping for joy. It will be a beautiful, beautiful day. I don't know when that's going to happen. Probably won't happen until Cashman and Boone are out of here. But anyway, it's my show. Get the fuck out of here, Volpe. All right. There we go. There we go. He's already earned his pinstripes. The guy's a god. I'm putting him ahead of Aaron Judge. That's right.
2 starts. He hasn't given up a run.
He's fucking amazing, man. He's my boy. Absolute beast. He's a bulldog. He's a Yankee fan. He knows what it's about. He's elite. He came back from Tommy John sooner than most people would have expected, and he's balling out better than anyone would have expected. Guy's just an absolute bulldog. Trent Grisham.
Trade release.
Yep.
Didn't want him back. Still don't want him here.
Yep.
nothing against him. I just thought that we got the best out of him that we were going to get, and they made a very, very big mistake giving him that qualifying offer, and it cost us a chance to really improve the bullpen. Nothing against Trent Grisham.
It was a disgraceful decision. It was a disgraceful decision. But Grisham has not been disgraceful this year. I mean, he's had his moments. He's not been good defensively. Offensively, he's meh. He's exactly what I expected him to be. He was come back in clutch spots. He's been very good in clutch spots, but by and large, he's not been very good. I don't have bad feelings towards him. I think he's just a very good fourth outfielder, and he's being paid to be an elite one, which is on Cashman. That's not on Trent Grisham. So why would you criticize Trent Grisham for taking $23 million off the Yankees? Come on. You'd have to be stupid not to, especially as a fourth outfielder. Do you agree?
No, yeah, I agree. I agree completely. I think we have the most expensive outfield in baseball, and the production from two of them has been great, even though Judge's numbers are not usually up to his standards. Yeah. Grisham, you got the best out of him last year. You weren't going to get those numbers again.
All right. Who's this next guy?
That's Brendan Beck, and he made one appearance. If there was an incomplete tier, I think useful, keep around because he does have a good arm.
Let's put him in another vocation because that's basically what he's doing now. He's in gardening leave. All right. Yeah. Who's this guy?
that's pretty much next to Beck because that's Chivilli. We saw him, twice?
Oh, fuck him. He sucked. Anyway, he's getting another vocation too. All right, Rodon. Where are you putting Rodon? Trade release, pretty good, or elite earned your stripes?
Pretty good. You know, he's been a lot better his last two starts. The expected slow start off the IL, and he's been great the last couple of outings. So you put him right there in that pretty good. I think a B plus so far is respectable, maybe a B. And if he can just continue to stay healthy, he was excellent last year. And I'm glad he's back. And so far, these last couple of starts, you're starting to see the same guy we got last season.
Perfect. Who's this little spring bean?
Oh, that's your favorite relief pitcher of all time, Jake Bird. Right? That's Jake Bird. Am I seeing things? That is Jake Bird, right?
I can't stand Jake Bird. But I don't recognize him without the beard.
Yeah, I think when he got here, he shaved, and then he grew it back. But
if that's Jake Bird, he's going to the Aaron Hicks shadow run.
Yeah.
Max Fried, elite.
Elite, yeah.
All right. This little redhead.
Brian Yarbrough. Where has he been? Are they even using him anymore?
I don't know.
I can't remember the last time he pitched.
He's useful. I think he's useful. I would consider putting him in pretty good, but he's not played enough to be pretty good. I think useful, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I wish they use him more than Blackburn, that's for sure.
All right, this dude. That's McMahon.
That's McMahon.
Where are we putting McMahon?
I don't think anyone's going to want to trade for him, and I don't think they're going to eat that money. But I would probably say trade release. He just hasn't been worth his contract.
I don't have bad feelings towards him, so I wouldn't necessarily say he needs to try another sport. He's a very good third baseman and elite third baseman. Offensively, he's just not it. And it was a terrible mistake to make that trade. Considering what he was owed in years and money, it was a terrible mistake from Cashman. But we'll get into him later. But otherwise, he's been very good at his job. Unfortunately, it's just not enough. I think trade release. I can't say he's useful to keep around because he's right. I think he should be losing his job to Rosario.
Yeah. I mean, if he was getting paid less money, they might eat the contract and just go with somebody else. But I think it's because he's making too much to, at least for now, to justify cutting him. And he is very good defensively. So you hope that he can just at some point, he still hits the ball hard. So you're hoping that translates to maybe a hot streak where he can maybe get you 20 home runs like he usually did in Colorado and just be like a 20 home run bat with elite defense. And that's what you're going to get out of him.
John the Beagle Dad says trade. McMahon says Shadow Realm. TC says trade McMahon.
Science.
All 4-letter word. So there he is. There's quite a range of opinions there, McMahon. Not any of them positive. So I think trade release is fair for him. Okay, this little goateed fella here.
Is that Giovanni Cruz, if I'm not mistaken? And we only saw him twice, and he looked great. And yet, for some reason, he's not in this bullpen, and Jake Bird is. Useful. He should be up right now. That's all I know.
I agree. Useful, absolutely useful. Right.
That's a Skara.
Pickleball for him.
I mean, he was an Uber driver.
Exactly. He needs to go back to his day job. All right, big frickin' G Spot himself, the one and only. Now this is actually going to be very difficult to call because he's been hurt all year, and he wasn't great anyway when he played this year. So he is my baby boy. So I would love to put him in elite. I could consider putting him in pretty good. I would also consider useful, and I would hate to do that, but I would understand. So let's discuss. Big G.
With the injuries that just continue to happen with him, and it's always longer than they think. Doesn't it seem like every single year we hear this from Boone? He might skip rehab assignments because he's been swinging a bat. Every year it happens. The exact same quote. They say time is a circle, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Stanton every year. They're not going to cut him, at least not until after this season. When he's out there, you want his bat. He can still hit it 500 feet at any given moment. I think pretty good is exactly, because I'm not cutting him. No one's trading for him.
No. He's definitely not one for the future.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I think pretty good. Now, where do we put him in pretty good? Ahead of Rodon or where he is in last?
I think right there, right behind Rodon, because he hasn't played for like a month, yet he still has double the amount of RBIs Austin Wells does.
Well, for that case alone, then he's going ahead of Rodon. Right. Okay. Next up.
Oh, that is the formerly known Elmer Rodriguez Cruz.
We love Elmer Rodriguez Cruz on this channel, especially from Rubinho himself. Where do you want to put him?
I mean, you put him in useful. You keep him around for the future. He's only made 3 starts. I think he's looked good in, I think, at least one of them. There's been moments in the other 2 starts where you've seen the flashes, but that arm, there's talent there.
Yep.
And the Yankees have developed yet another pretty electric-looking starter in that system. You keep him around. Unless you're able to get an absolute stud for him this deadline, and I don't know if that player is available, you keep him around.
One thing I'm worried about with him is his walks. He does walk a lot of guys. But I'm putting him just behind Bednar in the useful to keep around category. All right. Next up, Tim Hillier.
I mean, useful. He's got 1 year left. He's old. Boone, again, another guy that Boone uses like an elite arm.
Yeah.
Funny, he uses him more now than he did 2 years ago when he should have used him and used Nestor
Elite
Cortez.
arm, he most certainly isn't.
Yeah. I think he's good for what he should be used for, which is middle relief, and hit that 80-something mile-an-hour fastball that gets ground balls. There's a role for him in a bullpen, and again, Aaron Boone just can't navigate a bullpen to save his life. So, and he is TC, and I think he's starting to get overused. Another case of bad roster construction and a bad manager at using a bullpen. Case in point, look at some of these guys that are getting blasted now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's had a good season, but he's being overused, and it's starting to catch up with him. This is not. I mean, he's a guy that you play once or twice a week to eat some innings to get you to the 8th inning. You know, I mean, come in the 5th, 6th, and then somebody comes in the 7th. You know what I'm saying? Someone in the middle relief, perfect middle reliever when you're behind or whatever, but he's not some setup, man. I don't know what the frick they're thinking. All right, next up.
has Yeri De Los Santos, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
don't mind him.
I wish they'd use him more. He's been good when they've used him, but they don't use him, so I don't really know where to put him. He's made what, 2 appearances this year, and they used him a handful of times last year, and he was pretty good.
Yeah, but they just don't like him. I think he's going to be traded or released personally.
Yeah.
Next up, we never see this guy.
That's Kervin Castro. We saw him for one appearance. See, all these years of playing MLB The Show has helped me because I recognize these faces almost immediately.
Did better than me. All right, Mr. Beard.
Is that Blackburn? It's
That
very.
is Paul.
Get him. Send him to New Jersey. Like, just get him out of here.
Yeah. Agreed.
What the hell is he still on the roster for? And Giovanni Cruz isn't.
Completely agree. Cody Bellinger.
I mean, can we say anything other than he's been elite? Like, offensively, he's been great.
He's earned his pinstripes. He's earned his pinstripes, bro. Even ahead of Paul Goldschmidt.
Isn't he the highest defense? He has the highest defensive run saved in left field this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I agree. Facts. Oh boy, the man himself.
That you don't even have to have the conversation.
I mean, he's probably. Do we put him in between Garrett Cole or after Garrett Cole?
I think you have to put him next to Ben Rice because he's been there since the start of the season, and up until yesterday, he's been the best, arguably the best pitcher, maybe the second best pitcher in baseball. No one saw this coming from Schlittler. Like 2 years ago, if you would have brought his name up, they'd say, "What, the guy that throws 92?" Now he's throwing 101 with ease and freaking insane frisbee movement. What he's done is unheard of. Like,
nah, he's A plus 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 plus. He had a bad day yesterday. Everybody has a bad day. He's just been incredible. Yeah, this is my tier. I've got Ben Rice number 1. I've got Cam 2. Got Cody 3. Cole 4. Fried 5. Judge 6. Goldschmidt 7. You agree?
I would probably put Judge above Fried. That's just my personal preference, but I mean, it's hard to argue that. I think that's a fine list right there.
All right.
I'd probably put Judge in front of Cole because he's played more, but Cole in 2 starts has already looked like his old self.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping Cole there. I think that's a pretty fair list. Okay. Well, Warren is the second one. Right. Who does?
I think that's Schumann, which he's been pretty. I like Schumann. I think there's a spot for him on the bench, but more than likely he's going to be optioned down when Stanton or Dominguez comes back.
He's not been bad. He's been perfectly fine. But, yeah. All right, Will Warren.
You didn't like him. I think even you have to give him his props.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a big fan, but I have to admit he's been very good. Pretty good?
Yeah.
Perfect. In fact, I think he's been better than Rodon even.
Oh, I'd say so. He's been really good. Like the last 2 years, he gets a ton of strikeouts. He gives us at least some length, 5 innings. He's kind of like another Clark Schmidt where you kind of know what you're getting out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. From a bottom of the rotation guy, the fact that he would be our number 5 with a full strength rotation is pretty good. So I think that's a damn good spot to put him.
Cruz, that's another one that's pretty good.
Yeah. Another one that gets overused.
Definitely, but he's so good. He's probably the only reliever. He's actually, is he not our best reliever? He's our best reliever, isn't he, by far?
Exactly. He is by far our best reliever. He's got the most excitement out of our bullpen, that's for sure. He seems to take it to heart when he gives up a hit, and I like that. He takes this job seriously, and just your limited options in this bullpen, and he's definitely the best one.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, next up.
Oh, he's not even here anymore. So he's killing it in Chicago. Go figure.
Yeah, he's going in the release category, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I like Rosario.
Yes.
Big fan of his. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. He's been so good, bro. He's basically taken the third base job off McMahon, uh, and he's played really well offensively. He's just been a beast. I like his attitude. He's got the right energy. He's got the requisite energy that I look for in a player. He's got a good swing. He doesn't mess about. I like him. What
Yeah,
would
I
you
was
grade
happy
him?
they brought him back. I would give him a. I mean,
B
you
plus.
could argue an A, considering they got him for pennies, and
Yeah.
he's been outstanding. There was a point where he was probably the best hitter, at least for like a week. The guy couldn't get out. And he's been really good defensively over at third. So, or at least the handful of times he's been out there. I think you maybe A minus, B plus around that category. He's been great.
Value wise, definitely an A, but I think overall B plus is probably a
Yeah.
good spot for him. No, I agree with that. Now, there's been some internal debates as to this guy. He's our hitting coach, right?
Yeah, that's James Rosen. I had to look that up
Okay.
because he's wearing a Marlin shirt in the picture and a mask, so it's hard to
Ah,
see.
right. Okay, so where do you put James Rouse, and how do you? I mean, how do you even judge what kind of job he's doing? Considering it's not really a hitting coach; it's an organizational thing.
We had, statistically at least, the best offense in baseball last year.
Mm-hmm.
The offense this year, despite no Stanton and a 75% healthy Judge, at least, that's being modest, outside of a couple of big names, we still are one of the best teams in the American League. So I just don't know if, again, you're right, everything's organizational. I don't really know what he does. But then again, remember 2 years ago when the hitting coach was just like, oh, yeah, hit it. Just hit the ball hard, and the Yankees offense stunk. So it's like, he's got to be doing something right. So I think you can't trade him. They're not going to fire him.
I mean, I don't like our offense apart from that 13-run extravaganza. I don't really like our
Yeah.
offense, but I don't think it's anything to do with him. It's nothing to do with
No.
him. It's just the way it's
No.
been fundamentally built. It's just terribly built. So I think useful to keep around.
I think that's fair.
Um,
Hell, that's Fishman. If I'm
Fishman.
pretty sure that's Fishman.
It's Fishman. Oh my God, I've got nothing good to say about Mike Fishman. Just a disaster. Just a horrible
stupid
analytics
face.
guy. He's been here far too long. He's been overrated in the organization, and he's just really bad at his job. He confirms his own bias. He's just a mess. Just a mess. Terrible person. Terrible. Just a disgrace.
Him
Yeah.
and Randy Levine can hold hands and walk into the fiery pits of the Shadow Realm. The both of them.
Absolutely agree. Healy Man's Heart says, Hal Fishman Cash, get the F out. Sunil says, yeah, at least he's not, in terms of Robson, at least he's not Dylan Lawson. He hits strikes hard. Yeah, that was bad. John the Beagle Dad says, Shadow Realm for Fishman. Fishman, Issy says, Shadow Realm for Fishman. Completely agree. He has gone into the Shadow Realm, the fiery pits of Aaron Hicks' Shadow Realm. Now, Aaron Boone, Mr. Bubbles, Ted Lasso himself. Where are we putting him?
I mean, I still think they gotta just start afresh the entire organization. I don't hate Aaron Boone. I don't like that they lie to us and tell us this is not an organizational approach and like, oh, he does it. It's his job to make the lineups and do all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't exactly, Izzy. We haven't won with him. We've gotten to one. We haven't won the championship. We've been in the ALCS a couple of times. That's not good enough. I think it's in a perfect world there'd be an ideal replacement. I just don't know if that person exists right now. I think you gotta try to find a new job. Put him in
FJ
there.
says pickleball for him.
Yeah, you can go have fun with Sunil playing pickleball. I bet Aaron Boone plays pickleball.
Neil says Fishman needs to effing retire and join a damn Tetris tournament somewhere. I agree with that. It's probably fair. Yeah, John Beagle says Shadow Realm for him. I'm not putting the walking Oreo cookie in the Shadow Realm. I don't think he deserves it. I actually think, right? Hear me out here. I think he's managed very well this year because this roster is not good. I've been saying it for a long time. This is not a good roster. It's terribly put together, atrociously put together. It's overly top heavy. It's overly left handed. There's no bullpen. And there's only like 4 hitters in this lineup. It's freaking disgraceful. So, with that said, I think he's doing pretty well with it because I think other managers would have had this team in 4th place. That's how I view this roster. I just don't think it's good. Am I being overly harsh?
I think it's the same team as last year that lost in the playoffs. So whether they try to convince us that it's not is another conversation. The bullpen stinks. There's only so much you can do with the bullpen that's so poorly put together. And offensively, you're getting the kind of production you would expect, right? Judge, up until this streak, has been fine. Rice has been outstanding. We all knew he was going to be good again. He has the best rotation in baseball, so it's, he has that at least. Yeah, this is what you come to. This is a good team that should have been put together just a little bit more complete with the bullpen, and I think this team would be well above the Rays in first place, but you're seeing kind of what you would expect. That their talent's there. It's a good roster. They're winning games, but they're also losing games that they probably should win because the GM just didn't do his job right.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a lot to blame Aaron Boone for an individual game because he's basically managing with a hand tied behind his back. One hand tied behind his back. I'm not going to say both hands tied behind his back because he's still got an elite starting pitching. And Salute ETA Mommy, good, yeah, not a good roster, but good starting pitching is all. Very good starting pitching. Great to see you in the chat. I hope you're enjoying the show. No, I agree. How would you grade Boone? I'm actually going to grade Boone positively, and this is the first time ever. If anyone knows me, I'm never going to grade Boone positively. I'm going to grade him fairly positively so far this year, as I say, because I think this is a 3rd place roster. Thus, I'm giving him a B minus grade so far. What would you grade him?
For now, a B, I think, is fair, but it is June, and that grade could change very quickly because, as we know, the June Boone swoon is already in effect. It's June 3rd. We already got our best player hurt, and yesterday there was a circus in the outfield and trying to get out of that inning with Duvall. So it's starting. Welcome to June, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, I mean, I fully expect without Judge and this difficult schedule with the Guardians, etc., then the Jays and the Sox, etc. I fully expect us to struggle this month. So where are you putting Aaron Boone in this category? He's definitely not elite. He's definitely not pretty good. I would struggle to keep him around because we need to get rid of him. So I'm very much in the latter 3. Trade, release. Well, we can't trade him, but release him, try another vocation, or send him to the Shadow Realm. Where are you sending him, Rob?
That last comment just confused me. I'd say try to find a new job. Go back to ESPN. No, yeah, he will get a job if he's let go by the Yankees. He will get a job somewhere. But I think it's just been time for a while for the Yankees to kind of start fresh with the front office and the coaching staff. And I've been saying that. I'm on the record on this channel saying that more than once.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good guy, really good guy. I think he's a good baseball mind. I don't think he's manager. Well, he might be a manager for maybe a smaller team. I think he'd be actually a really good manager for a smaller team that maybe have lower expectations. Do you know what I'm saying? Like someone because he's so good with like motivating people. Well, not motivating them. How would I word it? Making them feel good about themselves and keeping like everybody kind of singing on the same hymn sheet. That's something he's very good at. But in terms of like the X's and O's, the analytics of the game, managing with the gut, managing with the binder, he's bad at all that stuff, and he can't. He just doesn't have the fire to win. Not in New York. He just doesn't have it. He's shown it a little bit more of in his latter years, but not nearly enough. And it's time. Like
Yeah.
the Yankees kind of stink, right? There's just a little bit of a smell off them. Like, and we need to get rid of it. We need to clean house. We need to put some Fabries in here and try and clean things up a little bit. And one of the guys that needs to go is Aaron Boone. I agree. Send him to ESPN. That's where I'm putting him. But it's a kind ESPN because I don't hate the guy. I think he's doing his best with a very limited roster, and I think he's done a terrible job in October. Like I think that's his big problem. Like he seems to do the 162 very well, but once it gets to October when he's up against like good managers, he gets his ass handed to him every single time.
Yep.
And the one time we saw him in the World Series, it was a disaster class of management. Disaster class.
To this day, it bothers me. It keeps me up at times thinking about the decision in Game 1 that could have changed the entire series. Just that one
It
move.
did change the entire series, brother. It did.
Yeah.
And you hate to look back, but if you look back, and had he listened to the stuff that we were saying all year long, fundamentals, focus on your fundamentals, he just refused to do it, bro. Refused to do it. And that's why, even though we were winning games, thanks to Soto and Judge, but even though we were winning games, we were throwing the ball all over the place.
Yeah, and other teams picked up on it.
Every team picked up on it, bro. So it was like, right, let's put the ball in play, and they're going to screw it up. And that's exactly what the Dodgers did. They didn't even need to play their best. They just had to be mediocre with a couple of Freddie Freeman bombs, and they were going to win. They knew it because just put the ball in play, and the Yankees were going to screw it up. And that's all because of Aaron Boone. Had he spent even a modicum of time in terms of fundamentals, knowing what bag to throw to and what bag to cover and all this stuff, had he done that, and had he not made that decision in Game 1, the Yankees win the World Series and the Yankees keep Juan Soto.
History gets changed so much. And yeah, I understand like what JK's saying here, but at the same time, Sunil brings up a great point. Nestor hadn't pitched in like a month. So it's like, it's not really, if Nestor had gotten the out, you would say, wow, what a great decision. But he got bailed out, or the previous at-bat when Verdugo made an outstanding play. Like whoever was pitching before that got bailed out. So Hill was the guy to bring in. He was the guy that got lefties out all year long. So that's why we keep bringing that up about Aaron Boone. It's like that one decision cost us our first World Series since 2009. And it's tough to see a route where they get back to that because every October, the same thing happens where Boone's getting outmanaged or they can't hit in big spots. And it always seems to come down to one player. And if Judge doesn't get the big hit, he gets ripped apart. If it's not Stanton, like last year, Stanton had a terrible postseason, and you can't expect one guy to do it every single time. And it seems like that's the Yankees thing. It's like, oh, as long as we have 27 or 99 up, the job will get done. It's like, it's not going to work that way. You're going against their best. So it's just, I think about that a lot because we could have beat that team. We could have beat that Dodgers team.
Well. They didn't play that well, and I really do believe that if we focused on our fundamentals and you had a better shortstop and you actually planned these matchups better with Freddie Freeman. If the Yankees win the World Series, and then Juan Soto chooses us over the Mets, and then this would be a much different conversation.
Yeah, it's just a lot changes because of that one decision, the domino effect. And again, it's all hindsight because you know
Yeah.
what if the move does work and all that. But I mean, I'll say this: last year's Dodger team would have washed the Yankees in the World Series.
Oh, easy
But
one. Right.
2024, we had a legitimate shot to beat them because the first two games of that series were very, very close. We had them. We had a chance to win both of those games. So
Yeah.
and
No,
really,
it
like,
was,
but Judge did hit at least the last couple of games he was coming through, and then he dropped the ball. So it's like
oh
you
God.
give and you
Don't get me
take it.
started on that. Dreadful leadership. Terrible leadership. Anyway, I think that was our chance personally. Of
Yeah,
the Cash Boom Boone era, I think that was our chance, 2024. Um, it, I would say it would be miraculous if this team made a World Series. Um, Fairly miraculous. I just don't see it. I don't think any trades are gonna make this team a World Series team. Right, Brian Cashman. I'm gonna leave him last. Let's go Hal. Where you putting Hal?
try a new. Just enjoy
I
your bat.
agree. Have you tried gardening, Hal?
I don't hate him. I don't
No,
think
I
he
don't either.
deserves a lot of the criticism he gets. Like the people calling him he's cheap. Like you don't spend 300 million, but I'm not asking you to be your dad. I'm never going to say go be George. I just wish that he would allow his front office to go get the best players. It's the one thing I want him to be more like his dad and like, hey, we have a chance to win every year with our budget, our payroll. Like the amount of players that we could have had on this team that they've passed up on, you're talking about a dynasty. And we could be what the Dodgers are trending to be right now. But I don't hate him. I just think that he doesn't really want to be there. That's my thing with Hal. I don't think he wants to be doing this. So
I agree. I agree with you entirely. I think he'd love to hand it off to somebody else in the family if anyone else can actually do the job. I've been saying it for a while. I like his sister to take the job. Well, we'll at least be like heading the baseball decisions, and he could be in the background being the money guy.
yeah, I
I
think he'd
think
be
that
more happy in that role.
I think that could work. I think he'd be much happier with that because I don't think he likes being the face of the Yankees, and he's going to be is compared to George. And I mean, it's unfair on anybody to be compared to your father, especially one a Hall of Fame great such as him. Um, you're always going to come up short, but in this regard, he's coming up super duper short, super duper short, and it's the Yankees are they're more of a corporate team now. They're a team that just caters to the bottom line now. Really, they cater to tourists. They cater to um, the Instagrammers and influencers and all this shit. They cater to all the things that just don't matter anymore, or don't matter at all in this society. They just don't matter. Um, he's not that focused on winning. He's focused on making as much money as possible, putting some patenting the food in the Yankee Stadium, making Yankee Stadium a shopping mall. That's the stuff that he's known for. The Yankees are competitive, yes, but you should always be competitive at $300 million payroll. But Yankee Stadium is not like a place that teams fear to go to because there's no atmosphere. It's drummed in, piped in. It's not authentic, and like he's the face of that. Do you know what I'm saying? He is the face of that, in my opinion. Um, it's just where we're at with Hal. But he's also set aside plenty of money, and Hal's misspent it. But Brian Cashman's misspent it. So that's not really his fault. I don't really hate him. I think he's trying. I just don't think he has the passion for the job, and that's okay. Not everybody does. So I think he should be gardening, playing pickleball, trying another vocation,
Yeah.
owning the AC Milan or whatever. So no, I agree. I think we got that. Now, Brian Cashman. Rob, sum up Brian Cashman.
Again, just like Hal, I don't hate him. It's hard to go 30 years in one job and be able to say, well, I've never had a losing season. Um, I just think it's been, like I said about the front office and in general, I think it's been long overdue that they just start fresh. I don't think he's terrible at his job, but this offseason they had opportunities out the ass to get this team to take that next step to be the elite. They've had this chance 3 years in a row now. When they got Soto, they could have doubled up and they couldn't get the job done on Yamamoto. I get that. But they had chances to improve the starting rotation in other ways, but just had to make a tough trade, right? Maybe you trade for another rental in Burns, or you go get Dylan Cease. But they went with Marcus Stroman. And you see things like that happening a lot where they kind of take that lesser road, like, oh, we want to spend a little bit less so we can get under a certain amount, so we have more for the deadline. And they keep preparing for the deadline instead of going for the jugular in the offseason. And it costs them every year because then you have to make 5 or 6 trades and you have to overspend in terms of prospects when you could have made the tough decisions in January and December. I think Cashman is right next to Hal. Find a new profession and start fresh.
So, yeah, Dave Rice agrees. For me, it's actually really difficult to call because if you look at this tier list, right, Ben Rice, he has a lot to do with it. Cam Schlittler has a lot to do with it. Cody Bellinger has a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Garrett Cole, he signed him. Aaron Judge, he has nothing to do with that because he tried to have him walk in free agency. Max Fried has a lot to do with that, and Goldschmidt has a lot to do with that. And then he made the trade for Caballero, made the trade for Stanton, Cruz. He signed Rodon, Rosario, and so he has his wins. He has his wins as a GM. But he also has his L's. And his L's are stupendous. And to be honest, he is exactly why this team doesn't make sense. He's exactly why this roster is weird. He's exactly why we have so many problems. Excuse me. That's exactly why he has so many problems. He's the base of this, bro. He is everything that's wrong for me. And he's the one that hired Boone. He's the one that's misspending Hal's money. He's the one that has half a decent roster with $320 million to spend, and he's only managed to get half a good roster out of it. I mean, he's the reason for that. It's terribly constructed roster. I completely agree with Bob Clappett. It's a terribly constructed roster. It's embarrassing how badly constructed this roster is. They don't really have a third baseman. They don't really have a shortstop right now. Jazz is not really a second baseman you can trust going forward. They don't have a catcher. It's the most expensive outfield in the world, and it's not as productive as it needs to be. You're paying a fourth outfielder $23.5 million. He has no bullpen, not one single bullpen. It's a freaking joke. And I mean, it's shameful that we don't have a bullpen. Got a great starting rotation, I agree, but how useful is it if you don't have a bullpen and you only have half a batting lineup? And he went in this winter, knowing that he needed to upgrade at third base, he needed to upgrade from Grisham, he needed to upgrade the bullpen, he needed to make a change of Volpe, he needed to make all those changes. Everyone knew it. Everyone knew they needed a righty bat. Everybody knew they needed a catcher. And what did he do? Rob?
Nothing.
What did he do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Great podcast, guys. Thank you so much.
He did nothing, and then they tried to attack the fans for calling them out. Like, oh, how is this the same team? And then even Michael Kay was like, well, they didn't have Bednar last year. Like, last I checked, he was on the playoff roster that
Yeah.
lost. So was Duvall. So was Caballero. So was Rosario. So yes, it is the same team. And we weren't asking you to make 800 changes. We were asking you to just improve the areas that needed to be improved on, which was mainly in the bullpen. Because I think you can survive with a guy like McMahon at the bottom of the order if Austin Wells is a little bit better offensively. Because you had Rosario and Cabby, guys that can play third in a pinch. And we can't forget that Cabrera maybe could come back at some point this year. So it's not like they don't have options at third. But how many times did he go into a season leaving a position open? Last year, we didn't have a third baseman until the deadline. The year before, we didn't have a left fielder, right? We didn't have a left fielder until, even then, they didn't use Dominguez, and they kept rolling with Verdugo in 2024. So it's like they always leave a position open, and that's just not the way to go about things. Because if you wait till the deadline, you sometimes have to overpay. Like last year, they could have went after Suarez, but it would have cost them Schlittler probably. And they didn't want to make that trade, obviously, because look how good Schlittler's been. So it's just you can't wait and assume that those guys are going to be available. And we say this, you've said this all the time on this channel. You can't assume that the upgrades will be there and you won't have competition for it. They could have gotten a lockdown closer like Duran last year at the deadline, but no, they didn't go for it. And you're paying the price. So I don't know, man. It's so difficult because I don't hate Cashman. It's the same thing I said about Hal. I don't hate the guy. But you think about positions he leaves unfixed, players that he refuses to trade, and when they have no value, has to get rid of them for virtually nothing. Peraza, case in point. And a lot of the times you see these guys. Yeah.
He should be hung up by his toenails for what he did to Peraza. It's disgraceful.
It's just a poor. There's good and there's a lot of like, like things that you can go back, wish you can go back in time and change. Like maybe they should have traded for Verlander instead of Sonny Gray. And how different would 2017 have gone had they traded for Cole in 2018 and not let him go to Houston? How they could have had a dynasty, like there are things that you can look back to that aren't that long ago. We're talking about 10 years ago. It's this Judge window that opened in 2017 and how many chances they had to go build a team that would have had at least one ring. And the things that he hasn't done is what is kind of defining him in this current Aaron Judge era of the New York Yankees. He was a big part of the front office that put together the dynasty. I won't take that away from him. I know it was Stick, but Stick gave him a lot of credit. He was the one that pushed for Cashman to get the job in the first place. So he was a big part of that. But in this window that he's had since the dynasty faded out and all those guys retired, and the Aaron Judge window, he has failed time and time again to get that one piece, that one or two, maybe even three pieces that would have made us another dynasty. You're talking about Harper or Machado. You're talking about getting Cole 2 years earlier.
He was too arrogant for that, bro.
Right. And that's what kind of will define him in this era of Yankee baseball. The Aaron Judge era.
Unadulterated arrogance, bro.
Yep.
It's even goes beyond his decision making because he's had some wins. We've already pointed out he had some wins, but he's so arrogant and he doubles down on it. Like the way that he spoke to Sherman that day with regards to Anthony Volpe was a microcosm of who he is as a general manager. He's combative and incredibly entitled, that people think that he's untouchable and that no one should be talking back to him. And he's also completely delusional as to Anthony Volpe's ability. And he's like, oh, well, just wait till he gets his sea legs under him because he didn't have much time last year. Just wait. And then you're going to come back to me and tell me how great my system is. It's all about him. It's all about him. And it was a disgraceful interaction. And it just told you everything about him. And then I think that's my biggest problem with Cashman is his interactions. The way he talks down to people. he talks down to fans, like whenever he's asked a question about the fan base, he's just like, I'll leave it to the masses to decide. He doesn't care. He genuinely doesn't care. And nor really should he, but he should have respect. I'm not saying that any of his decisions should have anything to do with what the fans want. I completely agree with that, because the Mets have fallen down that rabbit hole that you're never going to get out of trying to be popular with your fans. That's never going to work. But you also have to have respect for them. And he has zero respect for Yankee fans, zero. And the way that he has been so delusional in so many ways. But another thing, and as you pointed out, bro, you can't do rebuilds on the fly, and you can't save rosters on the fly. And that's what he's been doing. Like, last year, he basically tried to save the season last year at the deadline. How many trades did they make? Like 8?
It was there was Caballero, there was Rosario, Bednar, Doval, Bird. I think it was 5. There might have been a 6th trade.
Blackburn, I believe Blackburn was there.
I think that was a waiver claim. Yeah, so I think it was 5 trades.
There was
McMahon, 6 trades. Yeah,
right, and only half of them worked. And many of them were a complete disaster. Yeah. Deval, complete disaster. Bird, complete disaster. McMahon, kind of a disaster. Half those call trades just were a complete shit show. And how many prospects did he lose doing that?
It's like a lot. I think it's somewhere between 10 and 15, I think.
Right. And that's not how you build a roster. That's not how you build a roster. You don't build a roster at the deadline. You build a roster in the winter. What did he do in the winter? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
To a point where even Judge was critical.
Exactly. And we've already got his apologists saying, oh, boy, he's going to bring in a catcher in July. Oh, he's going to bring bullpen help in July. Why is he doing it in July? Why are you not doing it in the winter? When it's cheaper, when you can get long-term value. It's just a crazy way to build a roster, bro. And it's the way that he talks. I'm just so sick of him. And I'm done with him, man. Like, I used to have so much respect for him. I've almost got no respect for him now. He's doubled down on his own arrogance and his own ego. And as I say, the way that he treated Peraza is unforgivable. And there's a comment here from a really good comment about Peraza, that the reason why he's raking over there and on the West Coast is because they're not worried about launch angle. Exactly. JK, Peraza's raking the Angels because the Angels' philosophy isn't focused on launch angle. And Rob, you'll know, I based my entire baseball knowledge on Peraza being a good player. I always said it. He's a good player. And people were coming at me, look at his numbers, he sucks. And I was like, no, he is a good player. Put him somewhere else. He's going to be a good player. Trust me. And it turns out I was right. I should be in the Yankee front office. But Peraza was a good player, and the Yankees treated him like yesterday's garbage. So for that, I think Cashman needs to be in the shadow realm.
You make a great point for it, because we talked a lot just in the last 15 minutes about this, how many misses and how it's cost this team at least one championship. Like they should have at least one in the last decade, and that's not even asking a lot. This team should have made more appearances in a World Series, and they should have won at least one. So yeah, there's more. It says more about his misses than it does his hits, because look at some of the prospects he's refused to give up. Spencer Jones, right? He could have traded him 2 years ago when he had value. Now his value is plummeted because teams have now seen, well, it's a small sample size, but he didn't look good in his first stint.
And I'll give you credit. You were saying trade Luis Gil for Kyle Tucker.
I did say I would trade Gil for Tucker, and I love Luis Gil. I am a big Luis Gil guy, but I said it. I would have traded him for Tucker. And now you'd be lucky to get something of value back for Luis Heel. He'd have to be a throw-in at this stage. So it sucks, but sometimes you have to do those moves if you're trying to win a championship.
Yes.
There are some players Lombard can be untouchable. Schlittler was untouchable last year. Fine. If they want ERC, he still likes to be called that. If you want him to be untouchable, Lagrange, fine. But if you're able to go get a guy, like, let's say if Mason Miller, like when he was available last year, wouldn't you rather have Mason Miller in this bullpen right now than what we could get from ERC or Lagrange?
We could have gone Luis Castillo if we partnered with Anthony Volpe.
Right. You think about all those moves. We could, like I said earlier, we could have had Verlander. We could have had Cole. We could have had so many different players. And still, I still think 2018, after how good 2017 was, they had a chance to go out. You got Stanton for pennies. Nobody misses any of those players we gave up for Giancarlo. You still make that move. Then you go get Garrett Cole. And you go to war with that roster in 2018, and you don't lose to Houston. Or you don't lose to Boston, I'm sorry. You don't lose to Boston. And you probably beat Houston the year before if you just went and got Verlander instead of Sonny Gray, who you changed. You took Sonny Gray from Oakland, and you changed his approach to a point where he wasn't the same pitcher. He was terrible with us. He was good for half a season in 2017, then awful afterwards. And had they just made one move where they had to pay a little bit more or a lot more money, but they're the Yankees, they can afford it, they probably have a championship in 2017. Just one move, and they probably have a dynasty if they go out and get Cole. And those are the things that we talk about. I know it's going back in the past, but again, like I just said a few minutes ago, this window that opened up when Judge took off in 2017 the way he did, and that season went as good as it possibly could have went, it was the start. It could have been the start of a dynasty, and they had the moves right there in front of them. We're talking about Tucker last year, not this year, Dave. It was last year that I was saying to trade Heel to get Tucker because they needed to replace Soto. That's what we're talking about. But
that trade was on the table.
It was. It absolutely was. They didn't do it.
I agree with Bob Clappish here. They never make that big move. That's the problem. To your point, Rob. They don't make the big move. They make the B and C tier move. They wait and make bad moves, and that's what they've been doing, man. Because they've had plenty of opportunities, and they always go with the B and C tier. And guess what? The B and C tier do not work. It's a story as old as time, really.
Right, like going to get Bellinger for Cody Poteet, make that trade every day of the week. Right, nothing wrong with that. But the tough trades. That's what we ask you to do. Make the tough decisions. It would pain me to have to trade some of these prospects, right? But I want to win a championship now while Judge is still in his prime, while we have Cole for another couple of years.
You have that responsibility as a GM.
You have to. You absolutely have to. And they don't seem to want to make that trade. And we're going back a decade of missed opportunities now. 10 years later, Aaron Judge is now 34, and Garrett Cole is, 36, coming off Tommy John. Who knows how much time he has left at this stage of his career. Stanton, we know, it doesn't have much left in the tank. You have to maximize what you can get out of these players, and they just, over the course of 10 years, they've missed on so many different chances, and obviously not bringing Soto back was a huge miss as well.
And I keep going back to 2024 because Cashman's decision-making in 2024 was disgraceful. You got Juan Soto in the building, and now you're only a couple minor moves away from being a World Series winning team. Couple minor moves. That's all you need to do. Couple minor moves. If you need to have Aaron Boone as manager, all right, but you need to have somebody in charge of fundamentals behind them. A coach that's good with fundamentals. You have that, then you have a different roster. You needed some competition for Volpe at shortstop. You absolutely needed it. It should have been Peraza. But it's also, that the trade deadline that year, the Dodgers went and made the moves. What did the Yankees do? the Dodgers stole the Yankees' lunch money and went and got a bunch of the targets that the Yankees were looking at because the Dodgers wanted it more. And it just didn't make any sense. I was like, that 2024 was like the perfect storm where everything worked out. Soto was his best self. Aaron Judge was his best self. Big G was his best self. Cole was his best self. You're not guaranteed that every year. It's not MLB The Show. If you're lucky enough to get these veterans all to come together and play out of their mind baseball, you've got to help them. You've got to help them. And if you don't, then that's on you. And Cashman didn't. Like, he waited. Like, and now Aaron Judge is looking human when he was indestructible a couple of years ago. Big G was playoff G, freaking insane, hitting everything, freaking 3,000 OPS. Now he's starting to break down a little bit. You know, that's what happens if you just leave it and don't take advantage of your window. So this is all Cashman. What you're asked to do as a GM is when it's your championship window, you go all out. Look what the Rams are doing right now, by the way. You know, that's what you do. When you have a roster that's capable of winning a championship, you go all out, right? So you have to take advantage of that, even if it means losing some guys that you like, you know? You didn't take advantage of it. Just like you didn't take advantage of our window back in 2017 when he had Andujar and all that stuff. He didn't have a plan for him. He just kept them. Just kept them until he had no value. These are the kind of things that a GM does that ruins your team forever. And that's what Cashman's doing, bro. And he's going to make the same mistake as he made last year. We're going to get into the July deadline. He's going to overpay for a catcher, which he should have gotten in the winter. And he's going to overpay for 4 or 5 bullpen arms, which he should have gotten in the winter. And a lot of it is going to be panic, and you're going to get panic results. And too many people buy his shit, and no one should buy his shit because he's a used car salesman. And he's an arrogant gas bag. Honestly, he is the reason why the Yankees haven't won a World Series. He is the reason why.
I have to agree. And, like, you even look at the team right now, like, why aren't some of these younger arms, I'm not saying LeGrand because they just decided to put him in the bullpen, so let him work out of the bullpen in the minors and see what he can be at some point. But why are we still relying on the Paul Blackburns and the Jake Birds of the world? You've seen them. They're bad. Mm-hmm. Why not let Giovanni Cruz come up and get not an everyday role, but a more usable role out of this bullpen? Get some swing and miss stuff. How long have you been saying that for this bullpen? And they just don't want to do it. Like, you have Eric Reiselman, just got recently called up to AAA. I feel like he would be better than most of this bullpen right now. Why don't we give a shot to Cruz, to Reiselman? Why don't we call up De Los Santos? Even give Chivilli a shot. Get Brendan Beck back up here. Guys that can throw high 90s and maybe get some swing and miss. This way, if a couple of them turn out to be good, which I do believe Giovanni Cruz will be good, and I think LeGrand's got the potential to be a shutdown bullpen arm.
I agree.
You don't have to make 5 or 6 different trades. But why are you waiting? Your bullpen stinks. Every single day is an adventure whenever you go to this bullpen, and they're just like, oh, well, wait, we got a month. Oh, and actually, you got a little over a month because the deadline's for some reason August 3rd, I think. Like, why?
Oh, what, really? I thought it was July 31st. Oh, okay.
No, I think it's August 2nd or August 3rd this year. I don't know what the hell they're doing. That's another conversation. But why are we waiting? And I said this a couple of years ago, and, like, call up Peraza instead of Donaldson or LeMay. Remember when they were forcing LeMahieu on everyone? When we all knew, as much as we like LeMahieu, he's done. Stop trying. Mm-hmm. And they finally got their head out of their ass last year with him and with Stroman. And they gave that job to Schlittler, thankfully. Because who knows what would have happened if they didn't do that.
Dude, they persevered with Aaron Hicks for years.
The list goes on. How many times they could have
persevered with Aaron Hicks when you even had Andujar, who was actually hitting. He was playing left field. Remember, this is years ago, but he was looking good out there. And all you had to do was get your ego, flush it down the toilet, and go there and Duhar instead of Aaron Hicks. But no, you had to go with Aaron Hicks because you were the idiot who bought his 1 year of being average, and you had to give him that 7 year extension, and then you had to double down and treble down and quadruple down on him, and it blew up in your face, and you just kept getting. All Aaron Hicks wanted to do was play golf. That's all he ever wanted to do. But the Yankees kept playing him in center field, left field, and he was blowing the games left, right, and center. And Brian Cashman took no responsibility because it was his guy. Just like what he's done with Anthony Volpe. He takes no responsibility because it's his guy. Austin Wells takes no responsibility because it's his guy. The list goes on. The list goes on. It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. And if I were Hal Steinbrenner, I'd be disgusted with how he spent his money. I mean, we've got a $300+ million payroll, and I mean, half the payroll sucks. Half the roster sucks. The other half is good. The other roster sucks. And that's not enough for a $300 million payroll who wants to win a World Series. It's disgraceful. So, anyway, I'm giving Brian Cashman a flat F. He didn't do anything in the winter. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I did more in the winter than he did for the Yankees.
It's true.
What a freaking joke. Fire shadow realm of Aaron Hicks. You and Aaron Hicks can burn in the shadow realm, Brian Cashman. And that completes our tier list. And it's pretty good. Pretty good. I think it's perfect. We've got Wells, we've got Duvall, we've got Volpe down there, got Bird, got Blackburn, Fishman, Cashman, all in the shadow realm, burning as we speak. Then they've got Hal and Boone, and they're trying another vocation, hopefully better than this one. And then we're gonna move on from Jazz. Heel, Spencer Jones, I don't really want to move on from him, but more likely than not, he's got to go. He got to go. These all guys were released anyway. And then we got our guys for the future. I think it was a good list, bro. What do you think?
I like it. I think it kind of, I mean, we're going to selfishly call it perfect. It's our list. So,
Yep.
I think it's fine. I personally, I don't want to trade Jazz Chisholm or Luis Heel. I even don't want to trade, technically don't want to trade Spencer Jones. But
No.
I think there's are moves that you might have to at least consider if there's an improvement. Again, I don't think we have a second baseman to replace Jazz right now. Had they went out and got a Brendan Donovan in the offseason, then maybe you would have had that replacement on the roster already. But, again, that's the conversation we were just having. I think it's good. I think it's a good list, and it gives you a perfect look at this current Yankee roster.
And it does. And we can revisit it as the year goes on. We should maybe do this again towards the end of the year and see if there'll be any changes made to that tier list. But yeah, it's been a blast. It's been a blast to hang out with everybody in the chat and to hang out with Rubinho again. Rob, what have you been doing to yourself, brother?
Working. Last time I was on with you guys, I said, and I was on with NFE a couple of weeks ago actually on his channel, so I saw a lot of familiar faces. In the process, it's been over with. It's been about going on a month of moving into my own place. It's been great. And just between that and working and other personal things that I've been doing, it's been good. So I do miss you guys. Trust me, I do. I miss talking with Donald and Tats 3 times a week. I still want to get on here with Luca one of these days. Hopefully we can do that sooner than later. I love talking baseball. I as much as this team gives me. Jason, good to see you as well. I saw you pop up. I can't highlight the comments because I'm not on the StreamYard anymore, but I wanted to say hello to Jason because I saw him pop in there. But yeah, I love talking about this team. They give me a headache, but I love talking about them. This is my life. This team, I bleed pinstripes for a reason. I know I'm wearing a Giants jersey, but look at this damn flag behind me. If you can see my apartment, is draped. Donald's seen the pictures of it. It is draped in Yankee shit. So, like, this team is my life. I love this team. I love this stuff, talking about them. No matter how bad things might get, I'm going to watch them every single night. I'm going to complain about them, and I'm going to celebrate when they're good. That's what being a fan's all about. But it's always good to be on here. 2 hours, man. It flew by. And yeah, man, I love the sport. I love the Yankees.
I agree with stuff and things here. I've been a Yankee fan since I was 11 years old. The pinstripes are nowhere near what they used to be. I completely agree. And I completely agree with healing men's hearts. I hate the current management. We'll always love the Yankees. Yep. That's where I'm at. And yes, Jason, I completely agree, bro. We miss Rob too. But we're not giving up on the possibility of Robinho coming back and rejoining the show sooner rather than later, I hope. Is there still hope, Rob?
I don't know if it would be like a full-time return, but maybe more often than what it's been since the calendar turned to the new year. Again, I can't change my schedule. Personal reasons, I had to make that decision. Financial reasons as well. Got to pay for my own place now, so I gotta do what I gotta do. But I'm hoping that I've got a little less chaos going on now, that I can get on here more often. And I know if I just reach out to Donald or Tats or anyone, that I know the door is always open. So hopefully you'll be seeing more of me, but can't make any promises of when that would be. But hey, this is the second time I've been on in the last couple of weeks. So
yeah,
definitely more in the last 6 months.
And we both have a personal recommendation to anybody who likes good movies. Go see Obsession. Everybody in the chat, go see Obsession.
Go see that movie. Oh my goodness.
100 out of 100.
Bear is the biggest piece of human fucking garbage to ever exist in cinema, outside of that asshole from Halloween Ends. That's another asshole. It was not horrible. No, that movie was amazing.
Who said it was horrible?
Stuff and Things.
Oh no, dude! It's elite. It's one of it's a generational horror. It's one of the best of all time. The lady who played Nikki, incredible. Like, she needs to win an Oscar. Like, absolutely nailed on. Must win an Oscar. Indy Navarrete. Oh, Oscar. Agree?
Awards, and more awards for what, a $750,000 budget. They're making like $200 million. It's insane. So I want to see it again. That's how good it was. I need to see it a second time.
Oh, I've already seen it a second time. I had to.
Is that good?
That good. Because it's one of those horrors where you could actually see it a couple times and you're going to miss something, and then you see it again and you pick up on certain things. So
Yep.
that's a really good movie. Because most horrors, once you've seen it once, you know all the spills, you know all the thrills, and you don't really need to see it again. But this one, it's a bit more psychological and suspenseful. So I do highly recommend it.
Yep.
I think you should enjoy it, and do let me know if you guys enjoy it too. We need to get more people seeing good movies.
Yes.
Amen to that. Right. Well, that has been a blast, and thank you so much for joining me, Robinho. I hope everybody enjoyed the tier list, and everybody enjoyed the Yankified podcast. It came back just for Robinho, and we will see what happens down the line, and I'm sure you will see me on the next stream. Shout out to everybody. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day off. Let's go Knicks, and have a great day. See you.